Angela's story time. You can find magic wherever you look. Sit back and relax. All you need is a book. Today's story is Doughnuts for a Dragon by Adam and Charlotte Gillane. A boy called George had a brilliant idea to be like the heroes of old. He would go off and search for a dragon to prove he was fearless and bold. So George built a time machine and packed his bag with some snacks that a hero might eat. There were cakes, pies and buns and a bottle of fizz and doughnuts, the ultimate treat. Then George climbed aboard and he twisted a dial so it pointed to long, long ago. With a whoosh, he was off, shooting backwards through time till his time machine started to slow. The time machine stopped and George opened the door. Was his journey through time a success? He saw something lurking behind a large bush. Then, "Boo!" said a cheeky princess. "I'm seeking a dragon," gasped George in surprise. "Take this map then," she said, "but beware. There are horrible monsters who lurk around here and they'll eat you if you don't take care." George gave her a cape to say thanks for the map, and away on his scooter he flew. The princess looked lonely, then said to herself, "Well then, I'll have an adventure too." George hadn't gone far when he heard a strange noise. In the shadows he saw something sitting. Was a horrible dragon sharpening his claws? No, a witch was just doing her knitting. "Come here," said the witch with a sinister grin. "I feel peckish and you look just right." "Have this fruit pie instead," offered George with a gulp, "'cause I'm seeking a dragon to fight." "Eek!" shrieked the witch, and she trembled with fear. "A dragon's a terrible brute. It can breathe deadly fire that will roast you for sure. You'd better go home. Off you scoot." "I'm not scared," said George, and he rode further on till he saw puffs of smoke up ahead. Was a fire-breathing dragon lying in wait? No, an ogre was toasting some bread. "Yum," said the ogre, lifting George up. "I'll have you for dinner tonight." "Don't eat me," cried George. "Have these ice buns instead, 'cause I'm seeking a dragon to fight." "Eep!" yelled the ogre in horror and fear. "A dragon is scary and wild. It has many sharp claws and such jaggedy teeth. You should run away home, crazy child." The ogre ran off with a terrified howl, and George carried on up the track. He was starting to think he had made a mistake, but was it too late to turn back? Then he stopped as a shadow fell over the path. From the branches above came a creak. Was a hideous dragon about to attack? Then George heard a bone-chilling squeak. The fierce little dragon then narrowed its eyes. It breathed out fiery flames in a flash. George reached into his bag for his bottle of fizz, and he put out the fire with a splash. Then George pulled out a doughnut and threw it up high. The dragon looked up and it froze. It leapt off the ground and then squeaked in surprise as the doughnut fell plop on its nose. The dragon looked up and it burst into tears. "Please stop laughing," it managed to say. "I'm ever so lonely and never make friends. No one sees that I just want to play." Then all of a sudden the princess leapt out. "You poor little dragon," she said. "I want someone to play with. Will you be my pet?" Delighted, it nodded its head. They feasted on doughnuts until the sun set, and the dragon breathed flames hot and bright. Then George and the princess did daredevil stunts, and the new friends played all through the night. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this story, please check out the other stories on our channel and subscribe for updates.